Today, Australia is a land of unique wildlife, a place where kangaroos hop through the plains and koalas climb eucalyptus trees. But millions of years ago, this same landscape was home to some of the most terrifying creatures to ever walk the earth. Welcome to prehistoric Australia, a land that was pure nightmare fuel. During the Cenozoic era, while the rest of the world was evolving, Australia was isolated, cut off from other continents. This isolation turned it into a crucible of evolution, shaping unique creatures, many of which would make our modern-day predators look tame. Meet Procoptodon, the giant kangaroo. Standing over 7 feet tall, this behemoth wasn't your typical kangaroo. With a short, flat face and forward-facing eyes, Procoptodon looked more like a mix between a kangaroo and a giant bear, and, unlike the herbivores of today, it had powerful limbs capable of delivering bone-crushing kicks. Imagine coming face-to-face with this giant in the outback. It was as deadly as it was massive. Next, we have Thylacoleo carnifex, the marsupial lion. But don't let its name fool you. This creature was neither lion nor cat. It was a marsupial, more closely related to koalas and kangaroos, yet it was one of the fiercest predators of ancient Australia. Equipped with a set of razor-sharp teeth, clawed thumbs, and an incredibly powerful bite, Thylacoleo could take down prey much larger than itself. Imagine the strength of a lion, paired with the bite of a hyena. That's Thylacoleo. But danger didn't only come from marsupials. The skies and fields of prehistoric Australia were stalked by Venomous, a 7-foot-tall bird that weighed over 500 pounds. Unlike its modern cousin, the emu, Venomous wasn't shy or gentle. Its beak was capable of delivering powerful, crushing bites, and it had powerful legs adapted for a quick, deadly sprint. Venomous was a lethal force, one that early humans may have even encountered. If you thought Komodo dragons were frightening, meet Megalania, the largest terrestrial lizard ever to walk the earth. Growing up to 23 feet in length, Megalania was a venomous, cold-blooded hunter with a mouth full of serrated teeth and venom glands capable of causing massive blood loss. This lizard could take down anything it set its sights on. Imagine a predator that could stalk you from the shadows and strike in a matter of seconds. Megalania was a true nightmare on 4 legs. While not a predator, Diprotodon, the largest marsupial to ever exist, was a sight to behold. Reaching the size of her rhinoceros, this massive herbivore roamed in herds, grazing across ancient Australia. But its sheer size would have made it a target for large predators, and it's hard to imagine the ground shaking as herds of these gentle giants moved through the plains. Australia's waters and land were ruled by quinkana, a terrestrial crocodile. Unlike today's aquatic crocodiles, quinkana preferred dry land, using its long legs to run down prey. With teeth designed to rip and tear flesh, this ancient croc was a top predator, hunting with stealth and brute force. Imagine a crocodile that could chase you down. That's quinkana. These creatures ruled an Australia we can barely imagine, a land where survival meant constant vigilance, strength, and sometimes pure luck. While these creatures have long since vanished, their fossils remind us of a time when Australia was more than a paradise for unique creatures. It was a nightmare land of epic proportions. And then there was Zaglossus, the ancient giant echidna. This creature wasn't just your average spiny mammal. At nearly the size of a bear, Zaglossus could weigh up to 220 pounds. Its massive spines were sharp, and its claws, designed for digging, could tear through the toughest terrain. Although it was primarily a scavenger and forager, Zaglossus was no stranger to using its intimidating spines for defense when threatened. With its impressive size and sharp defenses, this creature would have been a formidable presence in ancient Australia, ready to defend itself from any predator that thought it could take it down. In addition to the land's fierce predators, Australia was home to a giant reptile that ruled the forests. Meolena, a massive, armored turtle, was no ordinary creature. Growing up to 10 feet in length and weighing over 1,000 pounds, it had a shell covered in sharp spikes, making it a walking fortress. Meolena wasn't just a passive herbivore. Its enormous size and defensive armor made it nearly unstoppable. Imagine encountering a creature so large and heavily protected that no predator dared to challenge it, except for perhaps the most desperate or the most cunning. Not all of Australia's terrifying giants were predators. Meet Megalocaris, the giant sloth. With claws over a foot long and a body the size of a modern-day bear, Megalocaris was one of the largest sloths to ever live. But don't let its slow movements fool you. This creature was not to be trifled with. Megalocaris could easily outsize and overpower many of the smaller predators in its territory. Its massive claws were designed for hanging from trees, but they could also be used for defense, making it a formidable force in the forests of ancient Australia. Slow and steady may win the race, but it could also win a fight when it needed to.